Today on Cruiseman's Garage, I'm testing out two new tire inflators from Fanttik, the X10 Pro here, which supersedes the X9 Pro I tested previously, and this is the X10 Pro Max, which is much bigger. Which one of these is going to make it to my motorcycle? Physically, the X10 Pro looks almost identical to the X9 Pro, which I tested last year, and it works the same way. You basically turn it on by pulling the air hose out of its little holder. Now, it does have a different display. It's a little more colorful, the same functionality basically, but it is a little bit nicer, more colorful display. Now, I believe Fanttik claims this unit has a little more power than the X9 Pro and maybe even better battery life. The plus and minus buttons allow you to adjust the desired target tire pressure. You can unscrew this air hose. You could screw in a different longer hose from Fanttik or even a quick connect hose if you wanted to. And when you put the hose back into its holder, it turns the unit off. If you look on the bottom of the unit, you'll notice a USB-C charging port, and there's also a little rubber flap, and behind that rubber flap are some connectors and tools for airing up sports equipment. With the unit turned on, there's also a button that allows you to turn on a small flashlight, which is helpful if you're trying to air up a tire at night. And there's a couple of different modes. If you press the button again, it gives a flashing light. So another nice little extra feature of this X9 Pro. On the right side, there's a mode button that if you press it will allow you to cycle through automobile, motorcycle, bicycle, and sports equipment presets. And then the last press is custom. You can just customize it to whatever you want. So the first thing you notice is the X10 Pro Max ships with its own very nice, kind of a soft padded carrying case. Okay, so the 10 Pro Max has the same design as the X10 Pro, but it's obviously much bigger, much heavier. It's got a couple more capabilities, still has the USB-C charging port there in the bottom, and the little rubber flap with the little tools behind it. There's a button on the right side that I discovered is an air release button. We'll try that later. But it works the same way, basically. It does have an extra light on the back, and it also has a light on the top too, just like the X10 Pro. Inside the carrying case, there's a little zipper pouch with some other accessories. There is a quick connect as well as a USB cable. And there's also an extension hose, which is really good for airing up car tires. The hose that comes on the X10 Pro is a little short. This allows you to extend it so that it makes it a little more convenient. To turn the unit on, you simply unplug the hose from the holder, just like on the X10 Pro, and the display looks identical. It really is a complete copy except for the light. You do have that nice bright light. It has more functions. If you press it a second time, it gives you a flashing light, and you press it a third time, you actually get a red flashing light. Great for emergency on the side of the road. Neither of these units came fully charged, so I'm going to plug both of these into USB-C and let them charge before we put them to the test. So we're going to begin by letting all of the air out of the front tire of my Honda Goldwing. This is my standard test I perform with all tire inflators. First up is the X10 Pro. I'm going to hook it up and we're going to set it to 41 psi. and then we're going to see how long it takes to air up this front tire. Now when you're not pressing any of the buttons, it's showing you the actual tire pressure in the tire. As you can see, we have 0 psi. Once we press the power button, it should inflate the tire to the preset 41 psi and then stop. Now it does seem to be about the same sound level as the X9 Pro. So as you can see here, it took about 2 minutes and 56 seconds to completely fill to 41 psi. Last year when I tested the X9 Pro, it took 3 minutes and 19 seconds to achieve 40 psi. The X10 Pro got to 40 psi in 2 minutes and 50 seconds. That's about 30 seconds faster, or roughly 10%. The unit itself is extremely cool. I don't feel any heat at all. The hose is a little warm, but not terrible. I've already let the air out of the front tire again, and now we're going to hook up this X10 Pro Max and see if it's any faster at airing up this front tire. Now there's also this extension hose, and I'm going to try hooking that up and testing that out as well. It just screws into the end of the primary hose. I'm not really sure you would need this extension if you're airing up a motorcycle tire, but definitely be handy for a car tire. Okay, I'm going to set this to 41 psi and we're going to give it a start and see how it works. One thing you notice right away is the unit is much quieter than the X10 Pro. The X10 Pro Max achieved 41 psi in only 1 minute and 17 seconds. That's nearly 3 times as fast as the X10 Pro. Just like the other unit, it is very cool. I don't feel any excessive heat. The hose is a little warm, especially close to the unit, but not bad. So it's definitely got more power. It definitely airs up the tire faster, as you can see here. The question is, do you need that extra power on a motorcycle, or is this better suited for a car? You do have a little relief valve on this unit that allows you to let air out of the tire. So that's kind of nice. I like that feature. Okay, so now that I've tested both of these units, this is the X10 Pro Max in the case. And this is my X10 Pro, which is the same form factor as the X9 Pro in the case. Which one am I going to carry on the bike? Well, I'll let you guess. You can see easily this one's going to take up a lot more space. Yes, it's more powerful. It has a lot more capabilities as far as performance. It's 3 times faster filling up a tire with this. But to me, space is more valuable, having something more compact. It's also more battery efficient. It only got down to 93% after filling up the tire. This one went down to 86%, but that's still enough to fill up both tires on a motorcycle, probably 3 tires on a car you could maybe do with this. Now that, that's assuming every tire is completely flat. If your tire is 10 pounds low, it's not going to take that much battery life. So I like the X10 Pro Max. I think it's a better fit for a car or a larger vehicle where you have a little more room to store it. So for me, it's going to be the X10 Pro. I'm going to put that in my saddlebag, and that's where it's going to stay. I should also mention that even though it does not have the performance or the battery life of the X10 Pro Max, this X10 Pro is capable to fill up a car tire. It's a little less convenient because it's smaller and it takes a little longer, but it can completely fill. I have done it. I've tested it, and it will completely fill up an empty car tire. If you were to come across somebody on the side of the road that maybe needed to air up a tire, you could still help them out with this. If you enjoyed this video, do me a favor, please give it a thumbs up. And if you have any questions, put it in the comments down below. I'll also put links in the description of this video where you can order these on Amazon or directly from Fanttik if you wish to. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you on the next Cruiseman's Reviews.